Have you ever heard of the legend Reinald the God?
Nope. Never.
It's so cool.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. We need.
Yep. It's kind of cool. Yep.
So we have a new player in the Mike Scarn group on Saturday. Another new player, which would be good. Added to that fun for the Saturday night special. So, yep. And you get to meet another companion of Imri.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
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 Let's see what we got here. I'm sorry, I'm multitasking here. Okay, how's everyone doing tonight? Getting rocking and rolling here. Oh, what's up, Jason? Coma, good to see you. Patrick Canadian, getting things going. No John Blue Box tonight, so we're on our own as far as, non-raid in, but that's okay. I think we'll have a good crowd tonight, which is always good. Hey, Lord Forth. Start cranking it up here. Bum, bum, bum. Got stuff all over the screen. Just trying to get caught up. Okay, there's that. There's this. What's up there, Dale? What's up, Mike Von Molku? Good to see you all. Things looking good here, guys and gals. Starting another week off. Only 4 streams this week, so. Hey, Dave. Trying to check on things. We're approaching. Oh, thank you. We got another follower. We got some followers. Wow. 1, 2. I got wow. Just got 3 followers in the last 8 minutes. That is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got. I'm not sure if it updates itself or not. That cool. Thank you. So we're on our way. We're about to reach that 5950 mark, which says it, and Twitch says we have 6,000 followers, but we don't. You know what I mean? So it'll show 6,000, but we don't have them yet. So we're on the way there. So getting close. Oh, look at that! Oh, Patrick, you hype trained us already, man. Almost. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know about that. Like, we're just having fun. We're getting there. One of these early hype trains. So yeah, there it goes. Bing. Well, I guess we're the only game in town tonight, which is good. Almost over level 1 already. Much appreciated. I saw Von Molku got is going to be playing Matthew Barnabas again to an attempt to the Grand Melee, come back and see if the Joust champion can win the Grand Melee too. So you got that character locked in there. Awesome. Still early. Still got a few minutes here before 9 minutes here, but whew. Let me get some shout-outs caught up. Gamescape. Gamescape is tomorrow night's giveaway on the game. Stratagem is the Saturday special giveaway. We're going to give away some Titan dice. And then next Thursday will be Infinite Dimensions. And I just hit the wrong button. Yes! I just hit the restarting the Infinite Dimensions ad instead of doing the shout out for it. I'll kick ahead. I did it! I hit the wrong button! I hit the wrong button again! Boy, I'm on a roll tonight. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Mike, what's going on here, man? You know what? I'm rushing. I shouldn't be rushing. I should calm down. Calm down. Take a deep breath. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I think, come on, everyone knows him, Von Molku. I think you should bring him back. I mean, I'm going to use a lot of those characters. They're perfectly set for it. No drinking at all, man. Just busy at work and busy. I have 3 games. See, talk shows are one thing, but I have 3 games this week. So I have tomorrow night's game. Then I have my kids' game Saturday morning. And that's at 10 a.m. not streamed. But then we go from that to the Saturday night special that night. So I have to kind of use the same terrain. But I got to change the terrain between Thursday and Friday for Saturday. It's yeah. So I'm like, ugh. So yeah, no gargoyle wings, Josh. Josh is talking to me on Discord before we came on about a stupid button on another stream's front page. I'm like, what the hell do you care about the button? Okay. All right, you're not bothered, it says. I just like, what does that? I mean, you got me just so confused. Thaddeus, what's up, man? So, yeah, it's unfortunate that John at Blue Box's 3D printing stream did not go off tonight. But I like pushing buttons. Dude, Antiquitous, I got 3 on the wait list, 4 on the wait list for the game. I know you're one of them. I will do my best on that end for the Grand Melee. We'll see what happens with VIPs and stuff. Hit this button now. Yeah, we got a level 1 height train early. That's good enough. I'm gonna try, man. I'm really gonna do my best, but you know. What's up? Everyone's coming on. So look at this. Look at this list of. Oh, thank you, man. Look at this list of everyone here with all the Michael Baton flying swords that are going to be going into, and then you got Zarathon with the 18-month. You got Canadian with the 13. I mean, it's crazy. So crazy how many months of. You guys are awesome. They're going to need these hero points tomorrow night, man. The second part of, it's going to be brutal. But it's intentional. But both Bill and Walt will be back, so they're gaining 4 characters. So I'm going to kick their asses. I'm going for it. An ass kicking. So. All right, let's do this screen. Am I prepared for this discussion? You be the judge. I'm gonna do my best on this one. Hey, Mike. Speaking of that, Mike, you're gonna be playing with a new player in my campaign. First time ever playing old school, kind of like Taryn was a couple times ago, on Saturday night. So there's the group. Lesser known areas of Greyhawk. Jose Ortiz had to back out, and see, I am a slacker. Look at that. You see the mistake? Slacker J. There we go. Yeah, Saturday night. Yeah, you're joking, right? That's funny. Nomads, Rovers, and all. What's up, Troy? Thank you for that hype train. Tonight we're doing a $25 gift certificate to. You know what? Let me get smart here while this music's playing. I'm setting up the giveaway now, so don't forget. How's that sound? Use my head here. Only after 3 years of show, Anna. 3 years of talk shows.
Yeah.
There we go. Boom. I'll show everyone what that is once we come on here. Come on a minute or two early, like usual. Yeah, it is, Jason. So without Mike tonight, I don't know how the show would go. It'd be like, that's it would be. But Anna's got some good information too. I think we're going to be in fine shape here. So we'll come on a few minutes early, like usual. Yeah, Troy, we had a hype train already. So, but hey, it's all good. It was an unintended hype train. So, but thank you, everyone. I'm JK Lord Gazamba. Yep. And look, we do have a raid coming in. Wow. Thank you, Adam Generator. Thank you so very much. Wow. Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. And welcome in. Yes, a first-time viewer, too. Thank you so very much. We're hopping in here. Tonight's discussion in Greyhawk is titled Nomads, Rovers, and All. So we were all in Grey Chat the beginning of right before the weekend, and we're like, well, we have next week's the Cannon Fire 20th anniversary discussion. What are we going to do in the week in between? And so in that week in between, we decided let's do this one. So Mike, what are your thoughts on this discussion tonight?
A nice softball to get us through the week.
Yeah, we got a lot going on this week, so it is a nice softball. But the good thing is that we got referrals to your content, your custom content, which is fantastic here, as people are starting to pour in here. Thanks, Megan. So we got a lot of followers too. Just all of a sudden, they just all came in all of a sudden. We're approaching that 6,000 mark. So thank you. And like I said, we'll give away that Best of the Dragon Volume 3 every 1,000 followers up to 10,000, and I'll do something different at that point. So we've given away 5 so far. This will be the 6th time. Yeah, I got that and all. And tonight, all right, so
Thanks.
yeah, note we have Castle Entertainment's $25 gift certificate tonight's giveaway, and you can get one of his great adventures, The Nine, or Welcome to Carrick's Cove, or even better yet, if you haven't gotten Horror in the Holes yet, now's your chance to get it with the winner for this gift certificate tonight. That's courtesy. It's a community gift certificate courtesy of Troy Cannibal. Thank you so very much. So thanks a lot for everything. And Anna, what about you for this discussion tonight? What's your thoughts?
I'm kind of stoked about this. This is not my normal stomping grounds, but they are very interesting, I think, both geographically and also that they are part of the fringe that we don't talk about much. And it's a little bit of that melting pot. And there's some cool, I even discovered the lich I didn't know heard about before when I studied a little bit for this. So see, you find some cool stuff. So
so
you can't throw a spell without hitting a lich. So.
Yeah, in Greyhawk, every time you go somewhere, there's a lich around. Yeah.
There's yeah, it seems like that, doesn't it? It always seems like liches are liches and death knights, which is not a
Mhm.
bad thing at all, right? But it's just like wow, lots and lots of liches around, which is really cool. Megan, thank you so very much for the resub. You got to a year, isn't that crazy? So I'm trying to get us caught up with all the follows and things and all. I'm not going to be. I'll skip all the gift subs, but on announcements. And thank you so very much, Adam Generator, for that raid in. That was very nice of you. So I got the map set up. I got. We can go to a lot of publications. Man, I am so devoid of this. It's once again, this is an area I don't use now. Unfortunately, the ever mysterious Tim does use this area, but he is taking his daughter back to college, so he's not around, and because he's a big Rovers of the Barrens guy, as we know from his campaign. So if we go to our map and we go up here in our Greyhawk World of Anna World of Greyhawk map, so we're going to be talking about this area, the Rovers, the Nomads. Wolf Nomads. I'm assuming we're going to basically do like, whoops, I just moved the wrong thing. See? We're going to be talking about, I'm assuming Tusment's going to get in this discussion because who knows much about Tusment, and then all down here. So we kind of almost got a crescent moon shape of discussion tonight. So here's my tidbit, right? Tang the Horrific. There, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I don't know. I don't know much else about the area, and yeah, Tim is a married Rovers, Jason, but it's cool because at least he took something that no one else is playing there really, and he took the the American Indian deal with it. But if you look here, I mean, there's all these tribes which are cool, and Anna has them all heraldried up. So Adam, you hit just type in exclamation point drawing. If you're a follower, you automatically entered. If you're a sub, you get a bonus ticket. Everyone's eligible to win it. I draw it at the end of the night, but you got to be on to claim it. And so just hang out and have fun with the discussion. We almost got 100 people on tonight already. That's awesome. Thank you. Hey, what's up there, Dwayne? Oh, so one quick thing. GrowlCon's going great. The signups, and I'm really happy that people like Indicarus are getting their due. They're getting their events signed up for. Gitano, Les, thank you all. Everyone who's put in events, they're really starting to go, and I'm great to see that. Almost every live stream is almost sold out. I don't think Steven Chenault is sold out, which baffles me. The Owner Troller Games game is not sold out. It's going to be a fantastic thing. And if you notice, I'm actually I'm going to wear this tomorrow night too. I actually have the Return to the Moat House t-shirt I'm showing. They're available. I'm out of grays, but they're back in inventory on the system because they're all coming in next week. So the grays are going to be back in, but I have plenty of blacks and most sizes in black right now. So if you sign up and register, they're available. Mike, did you get yours?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, hopefully tomorrow because I shipped it out on. You may be a 3-day point. I shipped it out on Monday, so you'll probably get it tomorrow. Yours, so yeah. I know. Cannibal got his. I think Cathay got his. So they're going out there. Yeah, we're getting the first sets of these out, and they're really. It's cool that we have this. And all right, so tonight. Oh, thanks, Mike. That was nice of you. The Rovers. Wolf Nomads, I know nothing about at all. So Anna, give us something. Throw something against the wall here to start us off with this discussion. What would you like to do? Would you like
well,
to talk about?
I want to go back to the prehistory a little bit. When the before migrations and early when there was only the Urflan and the Flan, and I want to kind of say that remember back in those early days, the Rovers were I would say the frontiermen, the Flan that was on the outskirts of their territory, so to speak, meaning they and so they've probably been there for thousands of years, many thousands of years, and it's kind of cool. And when I read this, I got the sense that the Rovers roamed over all of was up there in the north, so to speak, from the Drummage all the way up to where the stone fists are now, and the rock forest and the, hang on a second, is that the rock forest? Now I need to make sure I got my the forlorn
Fist.
forest and the probably the rock in the east, so to speak. So they had that large area, and then comes first, not what we normally think of, the Iridians or the Sewell, but probably the Bacluni. My guess is that the Bacluni came second, so to speak, to this area and from the west. And that's when you got the first nomads, so to speak, the precursors of the Shakik and the Wegwirs, the wolf nomads and the tiger nomads in the west. And that was like a long struggle between them, or I don't know how violent or how antagonistic, because there's a lot of room up there. So they might have been fairly friendly too. I'm not really sure. And then later on, you got all these kind of other interesting things coming in, so to speak. You got the first others, outsiders, apart from the original two that founded the Blackmore, so to speak. You got the first Sewell Iridians and others, and there's so many other characters starting to come in, so to speak. And to me, it's a rich history that I've only dabbled very, very occasionally. But when I started to read this afternoon and I read for some hours, I realized that there's a lot of cool histories here, a lot of intrigue, a lot of world building, and a lot of history that we normally haven't dived into that much. But I did a little bit for my Shield Landscape, because we have to realize one of the major villains up here is Ayus.
Oh yeah.
And he shaped at least the near history or recent history of this area quite a bit too. So it's, to me, it's one of borderland civilization, what of conflict and exploration and lots of cool stuff, a lot of forgotten stuff too, and some of the weirdest stuff in the setting is up here too.
Yeah.
So I hope that wasn't too long of
No,
an
that's
intrigue.
great. That's great, and thanks as the follows keep on pouring in. It's very, very heartening to see. So I don't even know, Mike, as Jason was saying, racially, are Tiger Nomads Baclunish and the Wolf Nomads Flan? I don't even know.
Well, Gygax left us some
Open.
clues on that in the books.
Mm-hmm.
If we really had to know, we can reference the box set.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll get answers, not always. I think, without getting into reading it now, because that would come up.
Yeah, a little bit too.
The way the migration charts go, it shows like the Baclunish going up here, and then they kind of run a butt, the Rovers. So I think that's where this mixture comes in. So yeah, the closer to the Rovers and the Wolf Nomads get together, the more intermixed they are. And I think just by then the flow of the migrations, that makes probably the tiger more pure Baclunish than say the wolf.
That's what my impression too. That the wolf nomads is a little bit more of a hybrid between the Flan and the Bacluni, and the tiger nomads are more pure Bacluni. Yeah, I get that vibe too.
And then just taking even a further step back from the justification of this migration thing, I guess post cataclysms, post Baclunish wars, they were driven into the north from what would have been the areas of the Paynims and right? So your present day wolf and tiger nomads they've definitely not been up there as long as the Flan have.
So they haven't. But because you don't even think about how big these areas are. They're huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're large areas. Now that
you mentioned the size of it, it just now dawned on me that we don't, not knowing much about Flan history, because working with what we got, the Rovers very well could have existed from Brack Forest all the way to Drummond's Ocean.
That's my impression. They
that's
were
their
the
territory.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Traditional
And it didn't
territory.
really occur to me. And so what they have now is, because like Jason was saying, Vlek was a rover that chipped away the eastern part of it. The Wolf and Tiger chipped away the western part of it, and Rover and Ayus chipped away part of it. So the Rovers just their grazing lands have shrank.
Yeah, and it's also interesting to see in the west, it's the Bacluni incursion, both literally and so, but also genetically and culturally and in many ways that way. But in the east, it's a Sul incursion. So I have like the Stone Fist are like Flan Sul, and the Wolf Nomads are Bacluni Flan, so to speak. So you have the yeah, so it's kind of interesting. You have the incursions coming from both ends, and then get squished in the middle eventually.
I've not really studied Stonefist as much. Would you consider them like partially semi-nomadic? I know they have a couple
Yes.
cities.
Yeah, I
towns.
think I will definitely put them in that's semi-nomadic. Yes,
has
or very
towns,
recently settled, so to speak. And yeah, and if you read the Living Greyhawk Gazette here, you can kind of get the sense that the wolf nomads are also starting to settle down. They're building the Ungla Balan, the city by Lake Quag, and Erutovar is getting more and more permanent and stuff. So they seem to go towards more of a settled existence from being pure nomads. And the tiger nomads may be the same way. It doesn't seem to be spelled out as clearly in the books, so to speak.
It's yeah, it's a lot of speculation. It's an area
Yeah.
that I guess they did not do a lot of developing on, but there is some good stories out that come
Oh
out
yeah,
of these
there's
areas.
lots of cool stories.
The wolf nomads definitely get the most play because of their being neighbors to Ayus.
Yeah.
So are they allies of Ayus or are they enemies of Ayus?
Mostly enemies, if I read the stories right. Yeah.
Okay.
But they seem to be opportunists in some way. So they probably do a little bit of trade and then a lot of raiding. But Ayus encroached on their territory, took their ancestry sites in the Howling Hills and some of the other stuff. And they send it. So when Ayus came back or came to power, he laid siege to Erutovar to begin with, and that probably didn't sit well. So in my campaign, I have them as now sworn enemies over for like the last 100 years. They've fought back and forth. So yeah,
makes sense. So it's something. I don't know. I'm going to learn myself tonight a lot because I don't. You know me. I stick to my lands, which is a lot of lands.
But it's interesting guesswork that leaves a lot of room for maneuvering in your own campaign, so to speak. You can kind of do a lot of legwork one way or the other. You can tweak it one way or the other.
We will definitely. So I'm going to do the entire second half of the show just to all. Okay. So will Michael rock and roll at that 9 o'clock
we
hour
need to have
Eastern
a long,
because we got a lot of data. We can go over stuff. Mike, I can link to. I'm assuming you have. If you could get your Greyhawkery articles, and just tell me where to go, and I'll link to them and I'll put them up. And that stuff too, if we need to, with all stuff. So, or journals, or wherever we need to go. I think we can do a really in-depth discussion on all, and we'll do that for the second hour. I think we'll really get some good stuff. So, not all, Mike. Give us something. Give us something between. So I'll start. Let me start. Tuzmet. You know what I know about Tuzmet? I know about Wazum Qualerle's Golden Scimitar, the mercenary group that's in Greyhawk City, right? And Wazum Qualerle and his Tuzmet men. And he sticks out. The leader sticks out like a sore thumb. They have a Sul mage in the group, right? Who doesn't look like any of them at all. Who's like almost an albino in that group. And then they have all these Tuzmet men who think that the streets of Greyhawk are paved with gold or something. That's why they've come here to adventure. And that's been the From the Ashes discussion on Tuzmet. And that is about all I know about Tuzmet. Is that they're it's Bacloonish and. So there you go. That's the limit of my information on the Tuzmet area, and which is
Tuzmet. Tuzmet's like
It's
It's a
like
vassal of,
Ek-
Zeep and whatnot.
of Zeef or Ekbir.
Maybe either or.
Okay.
I've not really devoted a whole lot of brain space to them, but they're definitely not nomads.
So Gary says Tusman's not a nomad culture. So there you go.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the difference. Meaning we have
Right.
at least
They-
3 civil,
Okay.
fairly. Sorry, Mike.
Are employers of nomads.
Mm-hmm.
They employ them.
They employ nomads. Okay.
Yeah. So you have the civilized Bakluni, meaning organized or societies, big cities, and as organized as any of the other states in the Flannies. So they are different beasts, I think, compared to completely different compared to the Tiger nomads and the wolf nomads and the Ulman. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Adam, personally, I've no knowledge. This will be good for you.
Yeah.
So, but this is the most obscure stuff we're going to talk
This is
about
obscure
tonight, as
stuff.
we normally, Legends and Lore, we usually go in depth and very, very depth. On
Last week would
discussions.
have been.
Last week was awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. Are there city states then? How many are there? Are
Well,
these city states? Good question.
No, I wouldn't have them as city states because they have large organized countries, meaning they roam over vast areas. But on the other hand, you can't really say that the Greyhawk might go from being a city
There's
state
Tim.
to a full-blown state. So it's
Yeah.
The
it's
opposite.
kind of
Right.
but
okay.
so they're as big as any of the other countries, meaning Saif is one of the bigger countries on the continent, and
For sure.
Ekbir and Tusmit aren't small either. So and Ket the same way. So they're big proper countries with metropolises, big cities, small cities, towns, provinces, and the whole shebang. So they are full-fledged countries, and Saif is even an empire in a lot of ways because it rules over others and
Just
over
keeps
a large
going
area.
west
So,
off the
yeah,
map.
you have down the payments. There you have another area that is more kind of not organized as a country. So you have the payments, paynims, and the various tribes. If you go south, then all of a sudden, there you have. Then it's out in nomad land again, so to speak. So nomad land again. So tribes of the paynims. It's kind of even less organized than either owl or the wolf or the tiger nomads. Is people just live there. So, but there's not much to live off. So that's probably why they're not that. You have to roam huge areas just to survive, I guess. So that means that you don't form any real organized cities or organized political
They just
structures.
have
or anything
meeting
like that.
places during
Yeah.
certain seasons.
Yeah, we know even less of them, and the only thing we really know about them is from the Gord books, where Gord does some sort of flash journey through these lands
It seems
and
that
through
way.
Kester and stuff. So yeah.
But
if
according to Gary, the Paynims are greatly known for the cup and talisman of Alec Bar.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah,
but
so-
then we go into more organized again, so to speak. It varies, so to speak. Then we go even further south. You have Atir and stuff that are not part of the original story by Gary or anything, but they are kind of being shoehorned into the setting like so
Right.
many other things. But
Yeah,
the
taking
original.
it-
Oh, sorry,
No,
go
I
on,
was just
Mike.
going to say, taken at face value in the base books. Yeah, the dry steps is just an extension of the Paynim
Yeah.
nomads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and that is a huge area that is very loosely organized, and all is a little bit better
They're
organized, I
caught
guess.
in between. They're
Yeah,
the ones that kind of stay put,
Yeah.
sorta.
The heart of
And
Paynims
then
are
Mike, you have to fill in the cultural difference, if there are any, between the Paynims and the Owls. Are one more Baklunish than the other,
Yeah.
or
Oh no, they're
Bakluni, all
all-
of them?
Our
Through and
scribe
through.
asks, what resources are we from?
It's from it's a module. That
It's a
is
cup and
the-
talisman of Alec
Yes,
Bar?
mhm,
It's the
yep.
cup and talisman of Alec Bar.
Yep.
So, which is not officially Greyhawk, but has been placed
It's
here.
say Greyhawk.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but this
Yeah.
and it's been placed here for a good reason, because the original story is mentioned in the Greyhawk original publications
Yeah,
and
oh,
stuff.
yeah,
And then when someone
absolutely.
wrote the module, it was
had,
kind of shoehorned into Greyhawk. So yeah.
Find the
Yeah.
place right there
Mhm.
next to the mountains.
Yeah. So that's cool that it's there. Got you too, El Naval, no problem.
So
got you.
geographically, this is 1/3 of the Flannies we've been covering so far.
Yeah, it seems
Or
to be
even
that.
more. Yeah.
Yeah,
The only
yeah.
problem I have with, and I guess I was okay with Gygax developing these little mountainside cultures, because there was a rear and then there was some others in the south, along the Sul. hot mountains. All these things in the dry steppes would have been where the original Backloonish Empire was at, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like that is the Backloonish Empire. Arir is East Backloonish Empire. And I don't know anything about this module, but I'm pretty sure, you know, it's in good, decent shape, is what I'm saying. Whereas, you know, we're to assume that the dry steppes, everything was wiped out. You know what I mean? So Arir should be ruins, is what I'm saying.
So, yeah, and Gary brings up a good point. Is are the Backloonish lands in the Flannis, and
I want
That's-
to, yeah, geographically, I want to take
No.
this and put it away from the Flannies geographically. I want to have it like the Bramblewood Gap. That's where so the Yatils and the
what do you mean right here?
yeah, exactly. So Ket is west of the
Yeah.
Flannies. So you have the Yatils and the Crystal Mists, and then the Hell Furnaces forms the barrier between the Flannies in the east and the rest of Oreric. That's my private definition. I don't think there is an official one, so to speak,
Well,
mentioned
the
anywhere.
mountain range might even be the dividing line of Eastern Auric
Yeah.
Yeah.
originally.
See,
Yeah.
but are you
Yeah.
gonna really say that Rari doesn't come from the Flannis? That's kind of a hard sell because he's from La Pola, right?
Yeah, and La Pola is kind of Ket is the borderland, so to
Yeah,
speak. So
absolutely.
Ket is the literally the borderland.
Yeah.
That's like Turkey between Asia and Europe or
Yep.
something like that. It belongs in both, and so I think both culturally and geographically, I want to have Ket as the dividing, so to speak. Meaning Ket belongs both in the Flannies and the
Can't spell
Backloonish.
Turkey without Ket.
Yeah. So it's a bit
Good
it's
point.
yeah. Mhm.
You never
So
know
it's
on that.
it's a
Whoops.
bridge both culturally and geographically is the bridge, so to speak.
Okay.
But I like to have the mountains as the kind of defining barrier.
Well, the good thing is that Ket, there's a lot of detail in it, right? We got
Yes,
some detail
Ket
in
has a lot of cool stuff going
Yeah.
for it. But go back to I have one geographical when we talk a little bit about maps
Alright.
and geography
Sure.
here before we dive into the adventure bit. Go down south to Arir and the dry steppes again.
Sure.
And meaning what is missing here is something that I hinted at on this map that I think is kind of important to think about. You have all these huge mountains with enormous amount of snow
Runoffs.
accumulating and stuff like that. When you have the snow melt in the summer, it's like the Himalayas. There should be enormous amount of water coming out of them every spring, so to speak, because it's a buildup, and then when the temperature rises, especially since this is in the desert area and you have these tall mountains, that means that there should be a significant amount of ice melt every spring, early summer, and that means a melt and a spring flood. But there is no major river flowing that way, and there should be, so to speak, geographically and climate wise, there should be. So what I hinted at it because the river valley is both here and then it flows west, and there's another big one flowing north. That and the upper part of that river is there, so to speak. So you have the river. Hang on a second here.
I'm gonna ask the hard questions of John.
Yeah. Well,
so I asked it, and it's not named. That's the weird thing. It's not named, so to speak. But so I've hinted at a huge river valley that goes from that. There's plenty of several rivers that merge together at the lake Udrukandar as at Kanak. That used to be a huge lake, like
this one right here in the middle.
Exactly. And this is my theory to make it make sense, so to speak. So before the Twin Cataclysm, that was a huge lake here that added to the culture.
Inland sea.
Exactly, an inland sea where the river flowed west and then out into the Gulf of Gayar, so to speak. That was and that lake was a huge lake. So a lot of that flat area there used to be lake. And at the Twin Cataclysm, some sort of hole opened up and a lot of the water evaporated away. And it's also a hole, which means that there is water flowing, but it doesn't accumulate anymore. Some sort of curse almost, like the water evaporates down into whatever hole down in the ground or something.
Underdark sea.
Exactly. So we have some sort of underdark sea that kind of engulfs the water. And the only thing that is left is a salt lake and a tiny lake at was used to be the center of Bakluni culture, so to speak. So that to me fits both the geography and the history of the setting, so to speak. So I tried to want to have the two merge kind of both. It fits the story that this used to be Baklunish cult, kind of good lands that you could live in, and it was a center of a civilization. And then that simply was a river civilization that, just like a large part of China lives off the drainage of the Tibetan plateau, the Bakluni lived off the drainage of the rivers flowing from the crystal mists and the sulhons. So that kind of makes sense to have the desert bloom back then, so to speak. It was probably still hot in the desert, but it bloomed. So it was a perfect place to live. And then after the cataclysm, the river and the lake disappeared and dried out.
Is this the cataclysmic effect of what a Caspian Sea would be? It was pre-Caspian size, now it's this? I'm just asking.
Well, it was probably not as big as the Caspians, but Caspian, but it was like the Aral Lake or something like that. It was probably thousands of a few thousand square miles or something like that. So it was huge, and then or it might have been several lakes too. So that's something to dig into. But yeah, it also it could be underground rivers like in Afghanistan and Iran and stuff that you have underground rivers. So yeah.
Explain to me Torvag Baragu there, Mike.
Well, it's kind of like Stonehenge.
Yep.
But it's Baklunish.
Cool. How old is it?
It should be at least as old as the Baklunish Empire.
Yeah.
Which would be, what, 2,000 years old?
Okay.
Yeah, we knew we were there at the Twin Cataclysms. At least it was there at the end of the Bakluni Empire.
Is clearly a religious significance to it, and there's also a time travel hint to it, like a window or gate to other places and times.
So is it it's written up in a lot of places. I think it's in Greyhawk Adventures.
The Navel of Orth.
Right. Is it in any adventures that you know of, or is it just in discussions in
well, it's in Vecna Lives for sure.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, that's what I was trying to get out of you. Yes.
Oh yeah.
And it's in Vecna Reborn probably as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So there.
And it's in the Gord books as well.
Awesome. Well, just wanted to put it out there that if you want an adventure of an expensive one. Let me tell you something. If you want an original copy of it,
expensive to find.
But it is a great. But we had Zeb Cook on, and he said, I just felt like killing you for the circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can get a PDF of Vecna Lives, it's worth it because it has a really neat map of the Dry Steppes area. There's some really crazy adventure locations that have never been developed, and then it does go into detail about the stone circles, and I think Kamak, that town nearby. It's a neat out of the way place. First, it was part of that adventure takes place in the city of Greyhawk.
Right.
There's a little bit of traveling, but then
Gary, it's where the mage piece of Backlund called down the curse that resulted in rain and colorless fire right there.
Yep.
So there you go. So that's a place of great lore and history in Greyhawk, which is always very important. So very cool. As we're rolling here on, see, we got some good data rolling already. Yeah. So we're skipping all because we're doing all the second hour. We're gonna make you all wait because that's good stuff. So anything else in this area? Should I go up to the Nomads, the wolf and the
let's go up and dig into
boom. Okay. All right, as we head north. All right, so is there anything at all on the Tiger Nomads that anyone needs to know about? Because I don't know of anything.
Fun fact, the Tiger Nomads leadership is, I guess, I don't know if this is a common thing. At least there's, in the original book and in the Living Direct Gazetteer, but they like illusions. The rulers of the Chakyik tribe, the Tiger Nomads. are illusionists. Part
Cool.
illusionists,
Yeah.
multi-class illusionists.
So, multi-class.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Really? Because that's interesting. Because remember, well, back in the day, humans were dual class only, but it could have changed with
oh,
additions.
well then, forgive my lingo. I
Yeah.
mean dual class.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
But-
kind of cool.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But a lot of the
so-
stories took much more liberty than the mechanics allowed at the time.
That's true.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
true.
is
the
there reality
mechanics have
philosophy?
caught up with the stories over
Yeah.
time, so to speak. So yeah.
The ruler of the Tiger Nomads in the philosophy, so a third level illusionist, 11th level fighter.
Yeah.
So Jokatai, according to Jason Vito, was a tiger nomad, and Gygax's artifact of evil. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice.
I don't know anything about him, Jason, but I'll take your word for it. That's cool to hear.
Right.
So, Cathay, did you get your shirt? I'm asking, did you
so-
get your shirt?
Great.
You should have gotten it. So, just wanted to know. There's a Chakik and artifact of evil. You did. It's a 1-day.
Yeah,
book.
you
Yeah.
said that.
That's
Venerate Rashazos.
all right. So, who was that
Mhm.
guy? I remember the discussion a few weeks ago. That's funny. All right. So, Tiger Nomads and Wolf Nomads, do they war against each other?
Occasionally they
Uh,
seem to do, but also they seem to be fairly at peace at times. And I guess also
used-
since IUs got introduced in the game, that probably made it easier for them to they had more enemies, so to speak, outside enemies.
They used to be one big.
Yeah,
horde.
exactly. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
They used to be
and
one
then
big horde.
diversified.
I think it would be fun if somehow they could be broken down in a couple more units like Tiger and Wolf Nomads. Maybe there's some Bear Nomads or something.
Like there's clans in the Rovers, right? There's different tribes in the Rovers that we
Yeah.
know of, but this has not been broken down. Because has anyone out there detailed a campaign in this area? I'm just curious if anyone's really campaigned
I haven't yet.
hardcore in
I've
here.
stayed away from
See if
it,
anyone
yep.
in the audience has. But
Not as brave as Tim.
But and I'm also interested in the wolf and tiger nomads, if that is just a label or how much it actually involves wolves and tigers.
well, it's another good question. Is that
Yeah.
why the tigers are warm blooded, and this is colder, right? So tigers wouldn't really be up.
Wolves can hunt wolves.
So it's so Jason says he's done a
Well-
bit with them. It looks like Jason more than anyone
Yeah.
else.
What do you mean by warm-blooded tigers?
Well, I
and-
mean tigers tend to be India and
no.
Africa.
Have you heard of Siberian tigers?
Yeah, but
most of the
it doesn't-
tigers live in cold
Ooh.
Yeah, but
regions rather than
Burning
warm.
all tigers.
but the heraldry is not a Siberian tiger.
Well, from
The heraldry
Siberia-
on the shield looks more like a traditional tiger, not a Siberian tiger.
well, Siberian tigers and Indian tigers, the Siberians are bigger and beefier, but apart from that, they look identical.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very similar. I bet if you see a picture of a tiger, it will be hard pressed for anyone to see the difference between an Indian and a Siberian. Siberians are bigger and beefier. That bit like European brown bears and American grizzlies, North American grizzlies. But apart from that, they're very similar. Then you have other weird ones like Sumatran tigers that are smaller and so on. But the main ones are they're big and so the biggest area that the tiger roams over is in Asia and in cold lands, not the hot.
I
ones.
thought I'm incorrect. I thought that they were in Mongolia and stuff like that, which always reminded me.
Oh
of the
yeah,
dry
but that's
steppes.
cold too. That's cold. But no, they're not so much. The
right.
tigers are forest creatures, not out in the open.
Okay.
So they live in the real world, meaning.
Okay.
But now, and that's the interesting thing is, where do tigers actually live in the Flannies? And I think
Exactly.
that the Northwest is
Exactly.
perfect place for something very similar to the Siberian tiger. You have the Bernal forest, and you also have in the Baklunish West, you have the Udgru forest on the slopes. Another, I think, perfect location for tigers. So you could have tigers coming from the west and big forests in the west, and then you have them existing in the northwest of the Flannies, they're being native to that area. I think that makes real good sense to have a big tiger species up there, because the northern tigers are the biggest in the real world. So it could make sense to have real big tigers up in the north.
I keep
there too.
forgetting also that this is not Earth. These could very well
Right,
be
right, true.
saber-toothed tigers. These could
Exactly.
be
You can have them
tiered.
saber-toothed. You can have white Arctic tigers. You can have all sorts of cool
Uh,
tigers. So
Yeah, there's other
but even
tiger-like
yeah,
creatures.
you have lots of, and then you can have other tigers down in the southern parts in the Medio, and you can have like tigers and Hipmona tigers, and you can have
Okay.
lots of different big cats and stuff. So it makes perfect sense for even real tigers to live in a climate like that. In the fantasy, you can invent some other cool tiger species that suits your story even better.
You should never
Yeah.
relate real world to fantasy.
Yeah,
You get
I
burnt
saw
by
an
that.
awesome fantasy tiger, a big maned, gray
Ooh,
maned tiger that I saw some illustrations on DeviantArt. They were so cool. So I was so keen on. I wanted to just make that the tiger nomad tiger, so to speak, the Becluni tiger or something like that. Call it the Becluni tiger and put it up there. They had like a mane up on the back, and they were big and gray white, and to me they were irresistibly cool. So yeah.
Well, at least we're not talking about putting dinosaurs up here, John.
No. It's
Crazy.
like, yeah, but it would be kind of cool that, and the little I've used wolf nomads, I've used it against IUs and stuff in the campaign, that there have been some wolf war bands, and they had wolf packs with them, just like humans in the real world use war dogs and stuff. So they used wolves to hunt with and to guard and scouts and stuff like that. So they had a pact with wolf packs, so to live up to its name. But I haven't thought about what to do with the tiger nomads yet, so to speak.
Apparently, were tigers is the way to go.
Okay, that's
according to
the
Jason
cool.
Taverde,
Yeah.
he uses I mean, so were tigers are I love were tigers.
Yeah.
You know,
Do we have werewolves on the wolf nomad?
Werewolves.
I would imagine too.
Werewolves and were tigers. I think,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Shamans might be were tigers and werewolves, so to speak. They might be the shamans or something. They can speak to the totem
those
animals.
are religious to them. Like maybe the wolf nomads hunt tigers and vice versa.
Yeah.
Mattias, we don't Mattias just said, it's a good joke. We don't put dinosaurs up there, only dragonborn and tieflings. That's good.
Yeah.
No.
But the other interesting is that the tiger is a creature of the forest, and the wolf is a creature of the open plains, way more, so to speak. So it's kind of that. That's why I was kind of keen on wanting to. And if you look at the map, there is a bit more forest coming down the west. So I would like to kind of make the whole western part more forested, just to have a home for the tigers, so to speak. I wanted to, but I didn't want to overrule the Darlene and earlier sources too much. But it will be kind of cool if the Udgru forest will go all the way up along the coast to integrate with it, because that will kind of make perfect sense. That will be a home for the tigers and for the tiger nomads, so to speak. But yeah, but that's just me going overboard in my geographical development here. Yeah.
Very, very cool. All right. Well, we got some information out there. So it could be that they are totemic with the tigers. It could be that they hunt or they have
and you have the Rakshasas. They're kind of a cool place. You have illusionists, tigers, nomads.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah, meaning Rakshasas, meaning come on. It's kind of a
Rakshasas.
Maybe they secretly rule the.
Meaning
that'd be a great idea.
Exactly, meaning you have the tribal leader of the tiger nomads is a Rakshasa. It's kind of super cool. Yeah, and the wolf nomads, you have like a werewolf, a real powerful werewolf running.
Boy, wouldn't that just be a great
I think that would be awesome. Yeah, a werewolf, barbarian werewolf or something like that, and a Rakshasa on the other. Yeah, I think that would be kind of awesome.
Yeah, Rakshasa it's good, but Rakshasa tend to be the Hindu Rakshasa, but that doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Well, you could tweak it. Yeah. That's an idea. So if a DM likes it, then they can adopt it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just thought it was kind of
it's like Ogre Magi.
Yeah. Exactly, Ogre Magi. Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean Ogre Magi. Like, how do they fit in Greyhawk? I don't care. I love them. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
just
me
like
too. I love them
Rakshasa.
too. So I just
Yeah, it
need to,
doesn't
yeah, you
matter.
need to think in, yeah.
The Rakshasa is one of the most deadliest enemies there
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yep. So okay, so
In that way, you can have one Rakshasa started the Tiger Nomads and
yeah,
or something.
it's a
Yeah,
great
Wolf
idea.
Nomads, on a different subject, Wolf Nomads
True.
have a
Jason.
historic battle to their name. The
Okay,
Battle
let's
of
hear it.
Blackwater Bend,
Mhm.
Yes.
where they totally rout the forces of Ayus.
Mm-hmm.
And if I
Yep.
recall, I mean, they killed like 10,000
Yep.
of Ayus's forces.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what the build up to it was, but it's
Oh,
like a week long
he laid siege to Eretuvar and wanted to annihilate the wolf nomads. They retaliated and wiped him out.
They must have rallied.
Yeah.
And chased him down.
When was that? Pre-Greyhawk
Uh,
Wars, correct?
Oh yes, oh yeah, by a long
Yes.
shot. I forgot it's the date is in here somewhere. Hang on a second here. We have to.
Very cool.
Yeah.
This probably would have been around the time when he was trying to stamp out the wolf nomads. You know,
Yeah, I think that was one of the he wanted to conquer
Howling
them early
Hills
on.
and
Yeah.
then he's like, they were like, nope. You know, and Ayus never expanded
up,
any
Ermin?
farther after that.
So I just says
Okay.
screw going northwest. You know, I'm going east and southeast. It seems like, you know. All right, so between 570 and 576 pre-wars. Got it. Very cool.
Pre-box.
Yeah. Yes, Tim is militarizing theory, everything that he does. So yes, no sustainment of logistics.
Ooh, the Cat Lord.
Serves Kumis.
They mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you got a lot of places up here. Why this area here that is redded off? What is this?
Yeah,
Why
what
is
is
that separate? This area here with the hunger and
No, it's simply because no one rules it. It's just
Got
a
it,
marshland.
okay.
It's I
not
just
part of-
wanted because there was no and it's me
Okay.
taking a little bit of artistic world building liberty on that one. But we have the the battle against Ayus and Blackwater River. That was in the years prior to the Greyhawk Wars. So I guess it was
570,
just
576 according to Gary. So it could be any
okay.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
so
along the
exactly. So it was
Blackwater River.
some
All right.
yeah.
All right. Very cool.
According to my notes, it was in the year 578.
Okay.
Okay, 578. Okay.
That's still
Mhm.
pre-wars. Wars is 581.
Yep.
So, all right, cool.
Could be wrong.
That's all right.
Yeah.
A year or two difference doesn't make a hill of beans in this discussion.
Yeah.
Just note that it happens. So, how big is Eru Torvar? Big city?
It fluctuates.
No, it's I think it's about 5,000 or something like that.
Do I
Hang on a second.
I have a connection with Tang in my head to there. Am I correct?
Tang's been all around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Tang is the noble of the what is that,
Paynims.
Purple Eagle tribe or
Okay.
something. Yeah, he's a Paynim, and then he goes over there and he runs around with the Nomads, and the Rovers.
Okay.
He's one of the most cosmopolitan Flannies
Yeah.
people or Greyhawk people. Yeah.
Okay.
Gets all right.
Eretuvar, population 4,200 according to Living
Small.
Greyhawk Gazetteer. Yeah.
Okay.
So a small city. Yeah.
Okay.
And Ungra Balan down by the Lake Wadi is 8,300. So it's twice the size.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a trading post for the nomads. Is my guess. It's a trading
Oh yeah,
location.
Ungra Balan is a trading post, and Eretuvar is more like the cultural center and where they meet for political and cultural reasons and stuff like that. It used to according to this, it used to be just a mound with some primitive defenses, and then they kind of built and improved on it over the years, especially after Ayus lay siege to it and stuff. So they made it into more and more of a permanent headquarters, so to speak.
So Tim,
center.
Sit tight for the next 10 minutes, all right? At least, all right? Don't go anywhere, because while we have Tim on, who's sitting probably in a hotel room somewhere, let's talk Rovers.
Yeah.
Before we do all.
Yep.
All right. So, yes, sitting in a hotel, so you can help me with the Rovers discussion here. So you have the area is large. The area has been basically mostly. Now, is this the IU's area takeover of this area
Yes,
here?
that IU's incursion, and judging from reading the sources, IU's expanded in that direction first, so to speak, before
Okay.
he expanded south and stuff. He started to try to take control of his backyard before he moved south, so to speak. That's me judging when I read IU's Evil and stuff like that. I got the sense that he already did that early on, and that's
Okay.
when he established this set of forts and stuff as a kind of a scouting party, and so to speak.
So these are IUsian locations for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and so it looks like the Black Horse and the Hornbow have been destroyed. Is that
well? They've been displaced at least, so to speak. So, and their lands being what they used to roam on, and then IU's made that road down to his land, so he made like so he can start exploiting the resources and taking slaves and whatnot up there.
I know Gibbering Gates here too. Which
yes,
is fun.
exactly. Yeah, that he
built in the middle
established over there in the east and as far away from civilization as possible, so to speak. So yeah.
Yes. Well, that's true. The Rovers are hard to defeat. Tim, where is your base roughly on this map? Okay, tell me where your base is roughly. What town or campsite is it closest to, so I can highlight it? Because everyone Tim's sold. It was the first sellout for Virtual Grout Con of signups so for events. Tim's was #1. So
the Rovers have a historical battle as well.
Yep. That's TS. I don't know what TS means there, Patrick. Am I supposed to know that? So yep. So top secret. No, I mean it doesn't. He can tell me. Yeah, I know. I should know everything. So as far as Jason thinks this area is a lot of Cossack. Tim thinks the area is more the Amur. He does a lot of Amur Indian, which is kind of cool. By the R in Rovers. All right, so there we go. So right up here, got it near this lake. All right, cool. So out in the middle of that's good because there's nothing there. So good point. And there's no there's no like if you looking around that area, there's nothing. There's no points of interest anywhere. Good pick, Tim. Very good. So you have some campsites. I guess that they're not they move around the area, and the Rovers, the Forlorn Forest. Do the Rovers go into the forest, or is the forest something different as far as
I don't know. I guess it depends. In some ways, the forest it's good defense. Meaning it's much easier to survive if you're hunted by enemies and stuff. You can actually hide in forests and stuff. So in that sense, it makes sense for the Rovers to hide in it. But on the other hand, there are also dangers in forest because you might not be the only thing that hides in there. A lot of other things might have its lair and hide and whatnot in there. So you go back into old, meaning you had all sorts of things that lives in forests and could ambush you and stuff like that too. But forests also have a lot of resources, meaning everything from firewood to foods of all sorts. So I bet that the forest is kind of irresistible. I think every type of people and culture back then probably needed to do some foraging in the forest to get strategic and resources of various kinds.
Climate wise, northern Mongolia.
No, it's Siberia. It's cold.
Oh, it's cold up here.
Oh, it's bitterly cold. It's Siberia or northern Alaska, meaning you have a 9-month winter and a month or 2 of summer up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's permafrost almost. So it's
Canada.
It's Siberia or northern Canada, northern Scandinavia, northern
there you go.
Alaska or Siberia. Yeah. Yeah.
But
it's the northern end of the.
It's not mountainous like Alaska.
No, not that much. Exactly, not that much, so to speak. But so it's in the western and eastern end you have mountains, but in the middle there's not that much.
How about down near the Fell Reeve down here?
Yeah, then you have more of the I would say then you start getting into the more temperate area. You go from the Arctic into the temperate, and that's where that's a last leftover of the old temperate forests that used to be all over Europe and probably all over here too. So that was kind of north of agriculture, but still in the temperate zone where forests can grow real.
Okay.
The other forests up north are like stinted little pine trees and,
conifers.
and spruce and conifers. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Larch and stuff. And down in the fell reef, you have real forest, so to speak. But it
Okay.
was far away enough that no one chopped it down. So I guess the Flanese probably had forest everywhere before, but then everything from Flan to Iridians and other cultures have chopped down most of the forests.
Tim, give me a couple tidbits of information in chat since you are in your room. So make yourself useful.
Yeah.
All right. We won't go to Stonefist because it's really not part of the discussion. So if you're playing a post wars, you still have a lot of activity up here because they haven't been conquered, only a couple.
Exactly. You have like Ayuso has like a presence, more like he builds camps and hunkers down, and then you have the nomad rovers that roams around and occasionally attack them and just try to stay away. And then Ayuso send out war parties and stuff to hunt for slaves and to simply eliminate anybody else who lives there. That's my sense. And Ayusians have brought a lot of humanoids and others with them. And then you have a bit of wildlife, meaning you have everything from meaning if you want to have megafauna in the Greyhawk, mammoths and woolly rhinos and stuff like that, this is the place where they should live, kind of climate-wise, so to speak. So there's an opening for that too, and you can have things like bison, you can have aurochs or whatever, that type of old indigenous cattle and stuff like that, so that you can have up here, which might be the main reason that the Ayusians, that the rovers lived here to begin with. They were hunting them, just like the Indians did in Native Americans did in North America, and the Mongols and others did up in Siberia and in Central Asia, and the Scandinavians did with reindeer and stuff. So meaning there's a lot of big meaty animals that tend to live in a climate like this. So there's a lot of, if you want to go hunting, this is an area you want to go hunt. So there's a reason both for the rovers and the Ayusians to be here, instead not only fight each other, but there's a lot of resources to be had that way. So that's
I don't know if Tim's developed a lot of it in his in his adventures. They haven't gone into the hunting aspect of it, but then again.
So you have it, and even if they're, meaning that the area is huge, so overall there are thousands of each of these species. The problem is that per square mile there might only be one or less than one. So you might go hundreds of square miles before you see a single one. Wow. So even if there are tens of thousands of something up here, meaning you have millions of square miles. So there's a lot of square miles of nothing. So you need to hunt it. It's something that you need to have both skill, knowledge, and speed and persistence to do. So I think that the rovers probably learned, and the Ayusians are trying to learn. But it's a lot of interesting adventures, and if you want, you can spice it up with all sorts of cool monsters, and meaning even things like woolly rhinos and mammoths and mastodons or whatever you want to have are interesting monsters in their own right, that you can, if you want to spice up your campaign with stuff like this is the perfect place to put them. Awesome. And it also makes sense for the people to be up here and live up here to hunt these things and to use them for everything from mounts to hides to whatever. So yeah, and then sell a lot of the resources to down south and make money out of it.
Well, it appears to be an area that could be, it's so huge that you may never, as Gary said, you may never not ever see anyone, but it's probably extremely dangerous. So
meaning we're talking an area that is roughly the third of continental US in size.
Okay.
So it's huge. Okay. It's like the prairies in America. It's almost that size. If you take the fell reef and the forest and the whole, if you take the whole area from the tiger nomads in the west to Vlekstad in the east, it's almost half of North America in size.
I'm assuming any large traveling animal hordes like buffalo. I'm assuming.
Oh
yes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, in my campaign, I dusted off the Eurasian aurochs. That is the because I don't like animals that are so typical of the real world today. I wanted to have a version of it, and in Eurasia there is a Eurasian bison too that is called the Vicent. That is still there in small numbers, but there was the old ancestor to modern day cattle was called the aurochs, and those were big beefy animals that were so I dusted them off and say they are the bison of the Flanders, the aurochs, and they're up there in numbers, so to speak. So that's what the Rovers hunt, and Iusians hunt too. So they are big beefy.
Very cool.
So yeah, so they are the ones, and that's why I said that Vlekstad is where it is, because there is a small gap between the mountains and the coast, and each summer there's a lot of aurochs and other animals who pass through that to go northeast up there on grazing grounds in the summer, and then they come down and fall again. And that's why it was so good to establish a foothold there, because you can wait every spring and every fall. It's the perfect hunting ground. You can simply stay and put, and every 6 months there's food coming, and you can shoot it off, and really, so that made perfect sense to have like a city there and an establishment. So that's why I have it, because it's like a migration. So go to Vlekstad in the east, and the stone fist there up there, there you have it. So along the coast there, east and west, there is like a perfect migration route for a lot of animals that want to migrate east and northeast in summer, and then come back again southwest, south for the winter. So to have a settlement and to control that area is probably some of the best hunting grounds in the Flanders.
Cool. Awesome.
Yep. And probably why the orcs want to live there too. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. So it makes perfect sense. So I want things to make sense, and that's why you have the Keltons in the east there too, because they can also go out and hunt, because it's kind of a limited area. So you have more dense animals. The populations are dense during migration, and so it's perfect place to hunt, so to speak. So I want stuff and settlements and where they live to make sense from an economic survival standpoint too. And that makes interesting adventure. Yeah.
Troy asked an interesting question. Any migration over the ICC when it's frozen over? I mean,
yes, I would say, yeah, you definitely have things like polar bears and stuff coming that way too. And it's freezing over. So you have that opens up for, and not only polar bears, meaning you can have all other sorts of monsters that like cold and frosty things, so to speak. You can have like frost giants and stuff that live up in the polar regions who come down, and when there's ice and stuff, because they don't like to swim and they don't have to build boats, they can just walk in the snow. And so you can have other animals that remoras and others that like the cold, who can come down and hunt in the winter rather than the summer, and that makes up for some. And you can invent all sorts of cool frost cold monsters that come and hunt over the when the ice comes, so to speak, so to make it interesting. So you have to hunker down in the winter and really shut the doors and whatnot to stay away. So if not frost kills you, then you can even have worse monsters and stuff that are hunting in the winter. So it's a lot of interesting possibilities, and also the fact that you can get snowed in for 6, 7, 8 months. Imagine Josplatz, that little place up in the northern Thronion that the ice barbarians live in. Meaning you go there in May, and then if you don't leave by August 2nd, you're snowed in to the next May. So that is it. Meaning that, and the reason there is no one west of it is probably because it's frozen over basically the whole year, almost the whole year.
Well, no, Carlos did an adventure in there.
Yeah. So it makes sense, perfect sense to have a settlement there, so to speak, because that's where you can reach at least part of the year. So you can think that they go up there every spring, and then they hunt over summer, and then they return south, and a few survivors who simply tend to the place until next spring. It's like going to Antarctica. There's only flights in the summer that goes there. Yeah. And that's and it will be kind of a cool campaign. Survive one winter in Josplat or some other place really far north. so to speak. You go up there and then you survive one winter to hunt these winter animals and winter monsters or something, and then you survive and go south again in the summer. So you can have like a hunting based campaign to get some of these nasty monsters that come, and you can have there's all sorts of cool stuff that can come. You can go and hunt things on the beaches, because Arctic beaches have some really cool things that comes there too. So exactly, you can have all sorts of interesting things and spice it up with some fantastic animals that fit it, and yeah, you have a good campaign. Yeah.
Yep.
A good hockey. Yep.
Good start. So yeah, good hockey. It's funny.
That was my segue or my tangent here to.
That's good.
Think about stuff like that. Yeah.
So, oh, there he goes. Oh no, you're giving me more specials for tomorrow night. They're going to be upset at you there, Troy. They're going to be very, very upset. But I think it's hysterical because they deserve to get punished tomorrow night. So I'm noting that down. That's awesome.
And we have there is one, and we haven't mentioned it before, but we need to mention one that sticks out, that it doesn't belong in the nomad kind of cultural, just like Tusman, Ekber and stuff, and that's Blackmore. Blackmore is the odd one out up here, so to speak. The odd little realm up here that doesn't fit the nomad culture or any of that, so to speak. It's the civilization's most northerly bastion, so to speak, if you can call it civilization. But at least they're not nomads, and they were even part of the Great Kingdom for a while. So it's kind of and that's where I found this the awesome. There's even a lich up there, which is kind of cool. Oh, there's a lich everywhere in Greyhawk, but it's kind of cool. So we have in Blackmore the Lich Lord Raynal the Gaunt. Raynal the Gaunt is up there, and organized the resistance to the Eredi when the Great Kingdom and the Eredi came, and he creating the crown of Blackmore. So there is a magic item and stuff up there too.
Where's his keep?
We're not sure where his keep is. And there's something called Worth magic. So there's some sort of special magic in the land up there, according to Living Greyhawk. I'm reading from the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer here. So he ultimately failed, and the Great Kingdom made even this distant and land subject state, which that titled an archbarony. So that's when he got its title, the archbarony by Rossi's, or the Great Kingdom. So apparently the Rheinal was the lord that ran the place when the Erdi invaded, so to speak. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually it was the Blackmore. He probably has his keep in the Blackmore that was then ruined, so to speak, and now it's a ruin. So yeah,
come
so
back
his keep,
in. I don't even.
It's also old story.
What is
so
it?
to speak.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But so this is the so Blackmore is the odd one out, so to speak, that at least been semi-civilized for parts of it, and it's still there as a separate realm. And you have a little bit of a lifeline that now goes through Iusian lands. So now it's even more isolated. So if you want to go to one of the most difficult places to reach is probably Blackmore. To go and to pay a visit to Archbaron Bestmo is probably a campaign in itself. You have to go through Iusian lands or the nomad lands, and then you have to go through the cold marshes, and then you have to do all sorts of stuff and elements. So yeah. So if you want to have a campaign, is to go to talk to Archbaron Bestmo and then find that he might not like you and have to go back again or something. So yeah, it's an interesting, if you want geography, if you want a road movie campaign, I think that would be kind of a cool thing, so to speak. So why not go out there and study the earth magic or get that crown or
get
something.
the crown,
or
put it on.
Something meaning there's if you want a road movie campaign, I think that's an interesting, you can develop 2,000 miles of long difficult journey. Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. So, thanks, Cider. Thank you very much. Oh, look at that. We're almost close to another hype train. And you can't put it in, Troy, because you've already done stuff. So it can't be Troy. It can't be Troy.
Yeah.
All right.
So there are other nomads.
Yes. Other nomads.
There are nomads in the Bright Desert.
Okay. Cool.
There
Yeah,
are.
mhm.
That's true. That's
Yep.
true. That's true. But do we really want to have a rally discussion?
I mean, we need
Yeah,
to
but
have
there
a
are
very
nomads there.
discussion.
Yeah. mhm.
They were there before him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I can't figure out is why is there Sewell nomads in there
Yeah.
with Flan? It's like
It's
this
a little bit
little
of a
struggle between
cultural
the two.
hodgepodge. Yeah.
Never liked that.
But you
I think
can
it's
clean it
Sewell
up.
nomads because it's neighboring the Duchy of Ernst. But
Mhm.
what drove
8
those
specials.
Sewell migrants to decide, hey, I want to migrate around in this inhospitable desert? Why don't they live with the other Sewell in the Duchy of Ernst? I don't know.
It's a good thing to know that there is that there's something up there. Yeah, they were trapped. There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense, right? That we have in
Yeah,
Greyhawk,
true,
and
true.
okay, and you know, Rary comes in here, and then they start worshiping him. Who knows? I don't even get it.
Who knows?
But yes, but just note if you were part of Living Greyhawk here, everyone in this area dies, so it doesn't matter, right? So
Yep.
yes, everyone dies.
Yeah.
So
And we also have the two coolest hills. We have the Howling Hills, and then we have the Dragon Hills, and both of them are to me the most awesome named hills in the whole of Greyhawk in those
like
areas.
Howling.
So yeah, I don't know how the Howling Hills, I can imagine they live up to their names by being so windy, and you can hear the howling and also the wolves. So I think there's two reasons to call them the Howling Hills. I'm not really sure. The Dragon Hills don't seem to have that many dragons attached to them by in
maybe they
public
did
sources.
in the past, right?
Okay, but it's kind of cool. They're called the Dragon Hills, and I don't want them to be called that for no reason at all. So maybe it's the breeding ground for white dragons or something. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, Mike. Why don't we?
Yes, but now we can't beat around the bush forever. So
Yes, we got it.
Oh.
And we
We
yes.
didn't even
So
talk about the payments, but okay.
we can talk about
Yep.
the Paynims too.
Oh yeah,
We're
that
right
too.
here.
Yep.
No,
right here.
it's part of it.
Uh-huh.
It's all connected.
So tell us your whole thought process here and how it came to be.
Yeah.
Well, that's a broad question. Thought process. About,
Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, there's nothing going on
Oh.
here. I'm gonna take this and run with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the thought process for developing all?
Yeah.
Okay. All clearly is significant because they are paynims by ancestry. The paynims are kind of given this generalized. They're all alignments. They're
Okay.
they're all over the place kind of thing. Except these, this tribe right here. They decided to take over this little place, and some of them settle down, and they have their own like sub dialect of Backonish. They use different kinds of weapons. So there's Gygax was definitely inferring that the Paynims can settle down, have a distinct culture of their own, and this would be the main one to start. The oldest one, probably. I also reasoned that Kester didn't seem like a Iconish sounding town, So I thought, well, maybe that's an old Iridian settlement, but then they co-opted because it's said in the south, the Yuli tribes are more settled in the south. Well, clearly from the migration patterns, they kicked the Ords out and took their base. Whereas Ulakand is definitely more exotic, Backonish sounding. And that would be more like your wolf and tiger nomad settlements, where it's small, but it's also a meeting ground for the various tribes and khans during certain seasons.
Okay. Interesting.
So yeah, the whole framework is there in the box set,
Mhm.
and it's definitely they don't mince words. It's an evil land. I can't like I was saying before, the kingdoms could be virtually any alignment, depending on which tribe you're into. Old is definitely not a nice place, or it's not ruled by nice people. It's a harsh, a harsh place, um, and unfortunately, it's a place that you have to pass through if you're wanting to get to the dry steppes, the sea of dust. And I have a hunch Gygax, that was his idea when he was doing his novels, which I have not read all the way through. I know, you just cannot get there easily without going through all. So
Okay.
yeah, with these little tidbits to work with, I've like built 25 articles perhaps on Cannon Fire and Orth Journal, Orth Journal 19, Orth Journal 30. I've detailed everything gazetteer wise, culture, war bands, slaver bands,
Thanks,
magic
Mike.
items, monsters, you name it. And then, yeah, the old Nomicon. And then on my blog, Grey Hawkery, I've come up with even more all centric stuff, power groups, and maps, just little tidbit maps. So if you took all my stuff together, which is kind of what Brian Doherty Braggy has done for me,
Oh,
he takes my works and he compiles them, and he gives them kind of an old school, like 1E, 2E flair, and he's definitely cleaned up a lot of my writing, be more presentable. Whereas it's all over the place.
okay. Well, that's awesome. So to hear. So
Nice.
what? I mean, everyone says why, and I need to know this. Why'd you go with the half ogre? As lots of half ogres here.
Why did I go through? Why did I
Yeah, it's awesome.
half over? Well, unfortunately, it was not my choice. That was the only alteration at all in the From the Ashes
Okay.
box set. In updating the timeline, they went from the ruler was Drasky the Ferocious, just a typical sounding Khan of all, and they replaced him with Bruiserog the Misbegotten, which is a great warlord name, right? And a half ogre at that. Everyone teases about there being ogres around. Well, yeah, and might makes right out. Oh, and Bruiserog is currently in charge if you are playing 585 and after.
Okay. So, but from that, you developed a lot more. There's a ton more, right? There's more. There's more than one half ogre in here running around, right? You got a whole bunch of them.
I haven't. No, I have not really gone into half ogres.
Oh, I thought. Okay, I thought there were 3 or 4.
No.
Okay.
Bruiserog is definitely special.
Okay.
So there's orcs, there's ogres, there's all sorts of races you can find here. All would like to pride itself on being a backloonish nomadic culture, and anything else that may happen to wander in there is just for sport. Unless it can fight, defend itself, like ogres maybe, but even the ogres are enslaved or used in fighting pits and whatnot. The ogres would tend to stick to the mountains, the old Spur Mountains, or otherwise. Hence, Berserog's misbegotten origins, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, does Hull have more ogres than any other parts of the world? No, not necessarily. I think the Cairn Hills has a lot of ogres. If you ever go through some of the publications like Ogre Meat and Castle Greyhawk has a lot of ogres below it. So it's definitely a feature, but it's not a unique one for Hull.
Okay. So give us a point or two of interest up here. I know you added some things over here, right? Where are they? Didn't you? Some notes of lore, correct?
Oh, yeah. Some of my articles come out of Postfest and whatnot that Gary and company put on.
Let's talk about this. Tower of Albidalsum. So
there's one right there.
Yes, love it.
Okay.
I love this.
If for those who don't know, Albidalsum is of the famous word wilting spell. He can be found in the second edition Tome of Magic book. And he is an earth elementalist / necromancer. And as I searched early in my Greyhawk writing career, I searched for any kind of tidbit on this. I mean, who did the book? Was that Zeb? I can't remember now.
Tome of Magic?
Yeah.
Zeb, yeah, because Zeb did the Elementalist.
So I'm like,
took credit for the Wild Mage. He took credit for the Elementalist.
Yeah. So I'm like, where did he get all these? There was a lot of named mages in that book. So I'm like, where did Albidalsum come from? And I'm searching all over, especially the Forgotten Realms. I was like, oh, please don't be in the Forgotten Realms. You know, I couldn't find any reference to him in D&D, real life or otherwise. So I'm like, I'm putting them in all. All don't have any NPCs, other than fighters. So, boom, there's All's resident, uber evil mage.
And to note, if you were involved last year during Greyhawk Con, I had Nazim bin Khalifa, who was a student of Alamazad the Wise, who came out here seeking knowledge and he was dual class as well. He got corrupted by the teachings of Albidalsum or something he found, and then remember the tongue that Eric Mona's characters took? Yes. That was that whole adventure. Oh. So, and it's still on YouTube. You can go to Virtual Greyhawk Cons last year, see the very first adventure Eric played in, where he steals the tongue at the end, which is hysterical. But that was all part of the Albidalsum plot line. So, and he was a dual class elementalist necromancer as well. He did that. Ed Greenwood spelled Flesh Shiver twice in that adventure, broke a bunch of bones in that. So yeah, that was fun. So
speaking of Eric Mona's character, Hull is not a religious place. They don't, unlike the other Backwindish lands, they don't like the deities. But there's only a couple that are given any homage, and that's Geshtai, lakes and rivers and wells. Gotta have water, right? Especially when your culture's around horses, gotta have water. The other one, strange enough, and I didn't make any of this up, is Ralashaz. Now, I don't know if it's like they really like Ralashaz or maybe they like cursing people a lot. They're wishing bad luck upon you. So Ralashaz's name gets used a lot in all.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes total sense. 100%.
But I wouldn't say there's any temples of Ralashaz in Hull.
There are not many temples at all here.
No.
Is the Altar of Dawar yours, or is that published?
That's my very first
there you go.
Article ever on Canyon Fire.
Nice. And what is that? About?
What's the gist of it? Well, surprisingly, I've wrote so much about Greyhawk since then. That was like 2002, I think, 2003. That my memory of the Altar of Dawar is very
no problem.
Vague. But I think it's something goes like there's a cult and they're worshiping at this altar up in the mountains, and they either want protection from or are predicting the invoked devastation. It has something to do with the invoked devastation,
Okay.
and like the devastation goes right up to and stops it. Right. So I don't know if they're like, so I can't really remember what the legend is behind it, but the altar of this cult is still there. That's the only remaining of them. And there's just magical, mysterious stuff. It's one of those mysterious places that articles you would read. So that's all.
Here's my question. When was that published? Roughly 10 years ago, 15, 20?
That's got to be like getting close to 20.
Okay. So note this. This is the point I'm making to everyone out there. Mike did this, and now it's basically our community, the Grail community, published source canon on Anna's map. Think about that. Right? So what I'm saying to the community is great stories, great publications, and great content make their way to everyone loving it. And,
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things I've added. Abidalzine. I added a couple of smaller villages like Kurukand and Samoost. So, yeah, Jay's right. I found a niche. I worked on it. I was consistent, developed it over time. Just wasn't a one-shot deal. You use it, talk about it long enough that now people might not, be able to distinguish fanon from canon on this.
Absolutely.
But
it's to the point now, Mike, where there is no canon
in
Greyhawk because there hasn't been anything since Expeditions. There's nothing. So it is
and
our
nothing ever
canon.
came out.
Yes.
My stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing. Not even a Living Grove touched it.
Exactly. Living Greyhawk didn't kill everyone here.
Amazing.
Yes.
They could have easily just blew it up.
I'm sorry. I got to do it. Garn didn't come through and kill everyone here. I'm kidding, Casey, if you're on. I know I'm mean. I'm not letting him play Garn on Saturday night. All right, so Anna, what are your thoughts about all this? I know you love this area.
Yeah. They all, Mike, what you did with it is I just love it. It's so cool, especially when you have like you made the capital Olakan up on the mesa and plateau, and when they have that yearly race, when they race around the
I'm glad you brought up the mesa, Anna, because I don't really remember why I put it on a mesa. There is no mesa on the Darlene map.
No, but
I just thought it weird that it was out in the middle of nowhere, right? Why is it out in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, but it makes sense to have it because it's such a defensive position.
Yeah,
it's like Masada.
Exactly. That was exactly my recollection, or like my thought went to Masada too. So
and I don't think I did any like research or was drawing this from knowledge of mine. I think I just like mesa. It's got to be a mesa, something flat, so you made it so couldn't distinguish it on a map.
Yeah. And I deliberately made it so small that it fits within 1 hex on the Darlene map. So it's like 15 miles across or something like that.
It is, but when you blow up, it's still big.
Yeah, and so geographically, would that make it part of the Ulspur range, or is a mesa its own?
I have it's separate thing in the middle, meaning mesas. They come from several different sources, but one of the most common ones is that you have an ancient volcano, and then you have like a lava lake in the volcano, so to speak, or where the actual lava tube. And when it hardens inside and cools off and becomes non-active, the basalt is very hard, so to speak. It's very hard rock. And what happens often is then over millennia, many millions of years, the volcano itself erodes away, but that hardened basalt pipe becomes the mesa. And we have just south of where I live, there's a whole range of flat mesas. There used to be lava lakes back like 15 million years ago, and there were high mountains around, and now the mountains have eroded away, and it's only the flat topped basalt lava lakes that turn into basalt that are now sitting as mesas, so to speak. So and there is another version too, and that is that there are other types of hard rock interspersed in the mountain, so to speak. And then when the softer rock, like sandstone, erodes away, the hardened bits sticks up. But the thing is, they are usually not flat topped. They are formed in whatever shape. The reason that they are flat topped is that there's lava that simply solidifies as flat, like a lava lake. So that's why they're so flat on the top.
So you said there's a race around this annually?
Yeah, Mike had
Foot race or via
Yeah.
horse?
Hey, you got to make some holidays.
I like
right?
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
An actual
Yeah.
foot race, right?
No, it's a
Or-
horse race.
Oh, I
The
was going to
horse
say,
race.
all right,
Yeah, well,
so
they don't walk. They
15
yeah.
miles across.
It's an endurance.
No, they go around.
race.
Well,
the
yeah, but I'm
mesa.
just trying to calculate. 15
Yeah,
miles
so it's
across,
like
2 pi
50
r.
miles. Yeah, it's like 50 miles
30
or something.
times
Yeah.
3 pi. So it's more like 90, 100 miles.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
15
yeah.
miles
Mhm.
across 2 pi
Yeah.
r. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
2
and
pi
then
r.
you add a
Yeah.
few more. Yeah, so it's more like
About 100
miles.
miles. Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. It's like going around the 495 Beltway for all you crazy people. That's about 125 miles. So, yeah, in DC. All right, that's awesome to have that. Very cool. What's the what was the catch point of that race, Mike? Please
what
don't tell
is
me you
the-
saw that Viggo Mortensen movie and decided to do something on the
I
horse.
don't know what that was about.
Oh, he Hidalgo.
Hidalgo, yeah. I
Yeah,
bet
mhm.
you.
The dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
I never seen it, but
Oh,
yeah.
really? Oh, yeah. You're missing
No,
something.
I might have. Yeah, it might be something I picked up. That I might have picked up from real life. No, the Backlunish, at least the Paynins and all, they talk about how they are horse cultures. I'm talking about everyone in the freaking Greyhawk is a horse culture, but the Paynin / old tribes revere horses. They have horse legends. They,
Okay.
Nothing will get you killed quicker than stealing someone's horse and all.
Mhm.
So it only just stood to reason that if they have any kind of recreation or holidays, it's going to have something to do with horses.
Okay.
Yep.
What's the winner yet?
Horse voices, yes.
I got it. Yes. What's the? Yeah. It's okay, Mac. It's okay. It's a little too political for me. It's very political. Yeah, it's just.
Then I might like it. Yep.
Yeah.
What's the winner get of the race?
The winner of the race gets bragging rights, basically.
I guess they get the best
They
horse
get
or
a
something.
title. They get a title, and it's something like something commander of 1,000 horses or leader of 1,000 horses or something like that. For a year they are like this hero, basically.
Yeah,
They'll
that would
all-
in the Olympics or something. You get the
Yeah.
bragging rights.
I like
get a
it.
medal or something.
Bragging
Yeah.
rights is good enough, man.
And
Absolutely.
I guess they get a
Oh.
top, one of the best. They get a good horse or something too, and some prizes
So
like that.
Ull's a funny place. Like I said earlier, it's not a nice place. So they don't really have heroes. They don't have, reputable people. Their
So-
heroes are,
Anti-heroes.
a lot of anti-heroes.
The one that goes out and kills most enemies or something.
Yes.
Yeah. They have a couple of heroes in the history I've developed for them, and they've all gone to be rulers and whatnot. So you can be a heroic, famous figure just for winning a horse race.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at.
So here's next question. How about these monasteries? Are they yours?
No, those are Mona creations.
Oh, Eric
Yeah.
Mona. Okay.
Mhm.
What, do
He
you know?
never got around to finishing, I believe.
So they're there, but we don't know much about them.
I would wager one of them is Zenye, and the other one's probably Zoken.
No,
All right,
I was-
so-
yeah,
We have. All right. Is everyone
I don't
ready for
know.
this? I want someone out there to remind me. We need to ask Eric this question during Virtual Greyhawk Con's Ask the Expert show. We need to
Mhm.
find out what his plans were for these. I don't think we have yet. Part one is in an early.
Yes, there was a
journal.
part one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we need to know. We need to know a little bit more. So that tends to happen in the Earth journals and in the Living Greyhawk journals all the time. Look at Greyhawk City we were talking about on Sunday night. And it was like, where's the rest of this stuff? You
Yep.
know? So, yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you're
Um,
busy. He's running around like crazy. So, very cool. What other points of interest do you have in here, Mike? As far as is there warring going on constantly, or is it clan fighting?
Well, I'll tell you about that here in a second. I was just looking for a link here. So I
Okay,
did
cool.
one of my last all writings I did on the blog is about one of the rulers of all. And if there is a heroic character in all, it's Olzak the Golden. And I
Okay.
believe I had him go to one of those monasteries. And it has some tie-in to Lord of the Ogre Magi, which I think Gary was asking about earlier. So if you want to know anything about all that, I wrote about in that article there. Have fun.
Very cool.
Okay.
Olzak the Golden.
So conflict?
Yeah, is it mostly clan fighting for the most part, and it's not a lot of outside sources of conflict for the most part. It's all internal.
All right. Ol loves to fight. It doesn't matter who.
Okay.
So infighting, sport fighting in the pits, they fight the Paynims to the north. You know, the border of northern, you know, the north of all fluctuates. Okay. All right. Okay. So they hate their own cousins, the Paynims. To the south in the dry steppes, you got dervishes who want to bring the Mahdi, you know, the Mahdi of the steppes, and they want to unite all the nomads into, you know, worshiping some highfalutin god of some sort. So Ol hates them too.
Mm-hmm.
Ol will attack foreigners unless they're, you know, you pay them to protect them from other people from Ol.
Yeah.
Ol's fighting monsters from either side of the mountains, ogres to the west or giants from the east. You know, one of my favorite things to say is the giant troubles and Starish and Jeff and all that. They went east for a reason.
Exactly. Meaning they all don't have a problem with
they
the
didn't
giants.
go into all.
It's good sport for them. So yeah.
You want to get Gary all fired up, or they're fighting guys wearing power armor and from the barrier peaks.
yeah, they're not that far away from getting high technology, guys. Watch out. But yeah, so there's a lot of fighting. One of this historical examples from published source is the Brazen Horde. So these Paynim cousins from way out west were brought into, now I can't remember the whole story. I think Zeif invited them. There was something going on. They invited the Brazen Horde over, and they went all the way into Ket and were messing with Keelan and all that stuff. But so this huge horde comes from the far west, and they're just mowing their way eastward. They didn't take over Ol being the scrappy little country it is. They put up their defense, and Brazen Horde went the other way.
Yep.
So the Ols, when there's an external threat, will band together.
Oh, they band together.
Oh yeah. When there's someone else to fight, they will fight someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if Zeef ever gets any great ideas to hire a bunch of Paynim mercenaries and go down there and conquer Ol, they will lose. If the Mahdi of the Steppes decides to unite, you know, a bunch of nomads to take Ol, they will lose.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So
if Q-Land ever expanded past Ket, they will stop at Tuzmet.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yep. They fight anyone with glee and enjoyment, so to speak. So yeah.
Do all especially detest the Zephians for having the Orcish armies?
I don't know if they detest. They actually are similar.
Okay.
They might detest that their Orcish armies have better equipment. But Ol does have their own war bands with orcs in them, and they could very well just be, you know, savage as a
But they might
Yuli
like
warrior.
the cultural similarities between the
they're
orcs
similar. Exactly,
and
they're
the
similar.
owls. So yeah. So there might be some orcs that fight like in Oldsman and
Yes,
they
right.
might be accepted. Yeah.
You might even have, and I think this might be a rare case, but if those Urizari, not Janissary, Urizari orcs from Zeef defected, where else are they going to go?
Yeah.
To All.
Yeah.
And if they go to All, these highly trained, well-armed orcs would be like lords. You know?
Yeah. And if they fight well enough and they're willing to fight with and against the same thing as all fight, then all I guess if you fight well and you're willing to share the culture with them, then I guess they'll take you in.
Yeah, it's might makes right. That's why a predominantly human nomadic race puts up with being ruled by a half ogre.
Exactly, because
who's going to tell him he's not?
yeah, that's cool. It's all they're not racist or any of that stuff. They're prejudiced. They just the best fighter rules. Period. So yeah.
So as far as humanoids go, when you're saying there's orcs in their armies, that's great and all. But do they just test bugbears and gnolls and all that, and they go and
those things would probably be good fodder for the fighting pits. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just the orcs because of the inbreeding
orcs
with humans
they go way back.
Okay.
Orcs go way back to the Backloonish Wars. Yeah. They were already there.
Okay. Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So when you ever hear about orcish bigotry out there in the world, it's not in this area. I mean, it could be they have a purpose in Zeef and in here and all. Which is, okay.
Yeah, there's no orc towns. They're in there.
Mixed in there. Okay.
Yeah. And it's also cool with Okay. Yeah.
Not in the north. The north is kind of racist.
All right, so the north is more in with Tusmet would be than, but the south in this area down here is more of where
the south is a little more mixed.
Okay, good. It's good to know. Good, Anna.
I was going to say it's kind of cool. They respect everybody who's more powerful than they are, and they will bully down everybody who's less powerful than they are. So yeah. That's a simple principle. You bully down, or you suck up to the ones that
are not expanding their borders beyond this, though. It appears.
That's mainly because borders. I think borders to them would be just as far as you want to push your grazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But your herds and things.
Yeah, but you also have some natural geographical borders. You have mountains in the east and the west, and then you have the escarpment, and it might be the grazing is worse in the south because it's more deserty than so it's probably less reason to go there. The north might be that it's too crowded. It's too many civilized idiots up there. So that might be you can.
Right. Good point, Gary. So explain was this on the map all along, Anna? Explain the Kester escarpment to us.
That was something that I forgot who introduced it, but I added it in.
What's that?
It wasn't me.
It's written in various sources about the escarpment, so to speak, and I just assumed that all is the land high up.
Delineates where you go from the green parts of the hexes to the tan parts, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes sense that All is a high plateau. That means that it's colder and also less deserty. It's cold steppes, so to speak. So there is a little bit of rain all year round. That in my take on the climate. And then in the south of the escarpment, down in the plains, there is pure desert, so to speak, or very close to.
BTR, you missed it. I had a rant on that.
Old's too nasty for them to mess with, so they go east, which is a little softer. Yeah.
They went to soft targets, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All, for whatever reason, Gary specifically said in the south, the old warriors use pole arms. Why would they use pole arms?
Giants.
In a nomadic
land. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Halberds and pikes and perfect weapon. Except when giants are throwing boulders at you.
So they were ready for giants.
Yeah,
they hunt giants.
Yeah.
Gary, it's a good.
That's cool. I think it's they all are the way you describe them and develop them is awesome. They're starting to be some of my favorites now. Yeah.
So surely, Gary, they left artifacts somewhere, and it'll be a good point to develop your campaign setting if you're doing it and all and finding some Arity artifacts. Did the Yeomanry use pikemen? The Yeomanry absolutely use pikemen because of their setup. Absolutely, Freeman or army. No, Tim, Jack the Giant Killer's not.
Actually, I did write about a couple old Orid artifacts.
You did? Okay, good.
I can't remember which article it was. One's called Glory Seeker, which is an old Iridian sword that can be found there, and I can't remember what the other one was. But there is old.
Is it in cannon fire or is it on Great Hawkery?
It's a magic item. It's a magic item, so it would probably be cannon fire. It might be both. I don't know.
All right. Well, there you can do a search on that in either one and probably find it and pop it up there in Glory Seeker. So that's very cool. That's
I'll find it here in 2 seconds.
Armin, I was talking to another New Zealand player today, and I'll link you up with him. He hopped into Greyhawk Online, so I'll try and reach out. Glory Seeker.
Yeah, found it.
Yeah, so there you go. Not Gory Seeker there. Great.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Oh, look at that! On cannon fire. It is. We have it found. There we go. Magic items of all part 2. So there's probably a part 1 somewhere before that. So
all has magic items. They don't always come from all though.
2005. Oh my gosh, we're getting old.
Yeah, man.
The Lost City of Stool, Cal stuff. Yeah, the Lost City of Stool's in multiple adventures, isn't it? Yeah, I believe so.
The Sul seem to have lost a lot of cities here and there and everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Legends say that Lum the Mad at a cave complex in Norway rebuilt the machine. Rumors say other machines were different abilities and purposes also exist and were brought to the Atlantis.
Ooh, and Gary's just setting all up to take over the world.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So with a lot of things, but it's a really cool area to just mess around with and know it's developed so that it's one of those where hey, not a lot of people have done campaigns here. It's a good place to try give it a shot. So if you're looking for
my last campaign set in all predates my articles.
Wow.
Oh,
so we're talking late 90s.
I have not ran any D&D in all since.
Yeah.
That shocks people sometimes when I tell them that.
Oh, it's because you're developing.
It's just all sense. Stuff I did.
Oh, there's Casey.
Like it. There's
Casey. Stick around, Casey. I want you to hear some stuff for announcements. So, no excuses. Wow. All right. So, Anna, some thoughts here about as we look at that, man. We've gotten through an hour and 45 on this, on all the, which is awesome. So, some thoughts on Nomads, Rovers, and all so far.
I just want to say it's so many awesome adventuring possibilities, and also since they are so scarcely developed, except now all that Mike have so awesomely filled in some of the details and stuff. And I think what Mike did with all shows the potential. You can grab a large or small area, a city, a tribe, a large area, and develop that further and do what Mike did.
The Tiger Nomads is right for that.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, exactly. They're
like
right
Jason
for this.
Only one that's done
for development, so to speak. So it's and also meaning from an adventuring standpoint, both for the cultural reason and the cool kind of people that lives there and creatures, but it's the geography, the climate, meaning there's so many cool things that speaks for these areas in so many dimensions. So you can have cold adventures, you can have mountain adventures, and you can have lots of cool stuff. So it's an areas that are rich in pickings, adventure pickings, so to speak, really rich. And then there's the occasional stuff already developed, like the Blackmore, for instance, that has some cool stories and stuff. And then there's a lot of like empty waiting to be filled in.
And it looks like Minnie's
yeah, she won some more treats here, so we have to give her some more here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, your closing thoughts here on the discussion tonight. It went very well.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
My closing thoughts. There are a lot of nomads. in the
Yeah.
map area we're talking about. There's probably more we could have covered. Sea of Dust,
Hmm.
for instance. The Flannis is a handful of civilized nations surrounded by a ton of nomad space.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And that nomad space, then when you zoom out of further world, there's even more nomad area. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of room for developing nomadic tribes.
So note the following. If you want an ongoing campaign, the Ever Mysterious Tim is running low-level adventures in the Rovers now every couple months, usually Saturday morning, 10 a.m. on my right here on this channel. And we just did one a couple weeks ago, and so we've had, and there's multiple characters going in and out, and it's all low level, and it's very interesting. So just note that that is going on. If you want to see and Tim basically, I don't know if he's still on, Tim, because Tim's away, but Tim took this and developed it from scratch, basically his idea of what the Rovers
I
are.
like it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And then during cons, Tim runs the high level group, which has Anna and Carlos and a couple signups and and all the rest of the crew, and Will and William Henry Dvorak, and it's a fun group. So you'll see that during Grey Out Con. I believe Saturday morning of Grey Out Con, Tim is running between a rock ROC and a hard place. I think the name of it is. And that was, like I said, was the first one to sell out, first sign up. So you got a lot going on, and Jason Zavoda's back. Yes, it's Jason, which is good to hear. So we're gonna have a lot, and there's like 8 players in that. But Tim said it doesn't matter because there's gonna be a lot of death. But I'll believe it when I see it, Tim. There, I'm taunting him. So, but note that is going on if you want to see action, recent action going on in these areas. But there's still a lot to be developed. You could really develop these areas for your own, and come up
Challenge
with some.
accepted.
Yeah, throw it down. Yeah, exactly. Thanks. That's what I
Yeah.
want to hear. So, and these are the kind of discussions where you get, I've learned a lot tonight that I didn't know about from things. And I note that I'm really excited about finding out what Eric Mona had in store for those locations.
Hmm.
I'm going to ask him and say, hey, what do you got? And he's
Yeah.
like, I don't
Side
remember. It was so long
question.
ago. Yeah. So,
Side question: do Reni count as nomads?
That's the thing, yeah. But we have the Atloy. They would definitely count as nomads because they are,
Nomads.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the Reni are kind of waterborne nomads. So yeah. And the Atloys are definitely land nomads because they're
okay.
by Gary described that way. So yeah.
Nomads everywhere.
Hmm.
Lake rats.
Yeah, I see. I liked it. I find it bizarre. Who determined that the Reni, however you pronounce it, are not of Earth? Who's that guy? Who that I find that bizarre.
Yeah, I forgot.
I
where
don't
they
like
came
that.
from.
Gygax did. I don't like it. I don't get that. So.
But there's 2 ways of going about it. One,
Okay.
they came from another plane, or
Mhm.
2, they just came from the other side of the planet, and they are from Earth.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
2 ways to go about that.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
They're from Forgotten Realms or something. So yeah.
Yeah, well, the BK tourney is big, so we'll do some shout outs here before the giveaway, and then we'll raid into someone. So, and discuss. I'll discuss Casey's Bandit Kingdom tourney in a second. Mike, what's going on, man? I'm going to go back to the main screen here for a second.
Well, let's see.
So we can set some things up.
I got some like small home game stuff I'm doing on the weekend, probably. Sea Princes related, because like
Cool.
I run stuff in the Sea Princes mainly. I'm in Rich's game. We're tooling around the jungle still. I will be for a long time. I'm going to be in the Backloonish lands during the Greyhawk Con. Dickerus's game. Can't wait for that. Hopefully he lets me play a character from All or something. The discussion tonight has definitely got me thinking that if I do ever run something All in the future, it might be within our community, and that would be kind of like what Tim's doing. You know, it'd have to be a hard-nosed group. But it's definitely going on in my mind now. So that's about it.
Very cool, Mike, and thank you for a great discussion tonight on these locations and all. It was definitely a blast, and thank you for once again for hopping in on Sunday night too with the Greyhawk talk. That
Yeah,
really
I
cool
was
of you.
I was just thinking I felt some deja vu right there. I was like, I know I've already talked about this stuff. It's because it was
Yeah,
on
we
Sunday.
had a bonus
Yeah,
episode of Legends and
Yeah.
Lore on Sunday, so yeah.
absolutely. Santa, what's up?
Yeah, on Monday I had a new
Thanks,
mapping
Katana.
live stream. And I'm just amazed. The first one I had like 2 or 3 people that came in and watched. Now I had like 8 or so. So it's moving up there. I got a lot of good questions and stuff. And I was working on my shield lens map on the second area and all the integration of the first and the second area, so to speak. That's kind of a tricky bit, so to speak. And also I'm working on a majority of time right now goes to Gryffindor Games and their next Trials of Arcadia, the big map that will be a hex scroll map I'm working on. That's the majority of time goes to work on that for some more weeks, maybe a month or so, and then I'm fully back to Greyhawk again. But in the meantime, I'm working some of the shield land map and also on the now Cold Earth is coming very soon. That is almost done. And now when I looked at all the cool things that Mike Bridges have done, I found out that he've done the map of the Great Work Flood. And that was kind of super interesting. So and that will tie into a little bit of Hot Earth, because Hot Earth will be, that's the one after Cold Earth, because Cold Earth, that means then you have lower oceans, so there is less flooding, so to speak. So there's way more land exposed. But when you come to Hot Earth, because Earth has 2 continents full of ice, both the north and south, that means that there is way more ice stored on land on Earth than it is in our real world. And that means that if most of that ice melts, the oceans will significantly flood up, so to speak. So that will change the geography
Well, I hope you can
significantly.
improve on my flood map.
Well,
I was
there's
using
there's some
map
of the ideas that there's some areas that I think definitely will be flooded that you didn't flood, and few, but you had some cool ideas for that one. So and tie-ins. So the hot and cold Earth, I think are something that I want to have as a thing, because they can explain what kind of animals and migrations and stuff that have can taken place historically to different parts of the setting that now might be hard to reach in the current climate on Earth. But if it's been hotter or colder, that opens up a whole range of interesting possibilities and back in history. And then you can kind of, each DM can come up with if you want to use it at all, or if you want to, when you want to use it, or if you want to use it for a future campaign or whatever. So it's one of these things that I think are kind of cool, and they don't take that long to do. It's a few hours each, like 10 hours or so to develop them. So it's not that much. So those are coming. And then the work, as soon as I got the work done for Gryffindor Games, or it's starting to ramp down, so to speak, and I'm going to start working on the Flanny's Terrain 2021 edition, and primarily will be the ice, and it will be Isle of Dread, and it will be the Pirate Isles, and a bunch of stuff that needs to be tweaked and added and changed, so they will actually match the Earth planet models. So it's on the fringes that things will change, so to speak. So that's the, and also I have my games on Thursday. I'm playing in the Sails of the Azure, Brian Wakenham, Nagoya Joe's awesome Ullman campaign. I'm really looking forward to that. That's tomorrow. And also on Sunday, it's the Battle of Aldit that commences. So it's in my Shieldlands campaign will be the 17th session, I think. and we'll see if I use attacks or not. It's actually up to the dice to decide that. So we'll see. So I don't know if he's going to attack and in what shape or form. So I have some ideas depending on how the dice fall and what the characters, what the players want to do, so to speak. So that is coming on Sunday, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah.
All right. Awesome. Very, very cool. I'm going back to the other screen here because I'm going to show everyone what is going on for GrailCon. All right. So, if you, there's a little shout out, there's a connection to it. If you haven't signed up yet, I would suggest signing up. It looks like things are filling up quickly. So going through this, I want to point out a couple. Let me see if I can blow this up here more. Not big enough. A lot of things are sold out. Most of them are live streams, but you have signups are going in almost every game, and I'm really happy for Z for Indicarus. It looks like a lot of his games, only one ticket left in this one. Good to see. Last year he had trouble filling them. This is great to see.
Awesome.
All right, this is a surprise. Treachery and Arohai Sinlu, Alan Growe's game has three. The other one's filled. Has 3 seats left. I've never seen an Alan Growe game last this long. I don't think a lot of you knew that Alan had put in 2 games. So there you go. That is still up there. But look, Steven Chenault's game, 1 ticket left. That's live too, and that's the owner Troller Games. And then you got, as you keep on going down here, seminars, of course, are just for placeholders. Casey's BK Tourney Table 1 is sold out. Josh Pop's Escape from the Vault of the Drow sold out, which is awesome. And we got this one. If you speak Portuguese, we have a game in Portuguese this year. They're from Brazil. So there you go. Yeah, hey, we got people participating from all over the country. I want to say this. Late Nighters, our men's games don't have any signups yet. I'd love to see some signups for the New Zealand game, which starts at in the midnight, runs through the night for your late nighters, old school. So, and that is both Friday, midnight going into Saturday morning, and Saturday going into Sunday morning. They're both open still for signups. Also, the 4 a.m., 3 a.m. Oranier has only one sign up, and that's the Belgian game, which it starts in the middle of the night too, as you can see. Saturday 3 a.m. Central. He's got one sign up. We will get some Europeans in that. As we keep on going down, look, we got a lot of games sold out. There's no, as we go further and further down into here, it's really great to see. But there's still plenty of content available. As you go. Troller Games presents Shadows of a Green Sky. I think, Matt, that's yours. You only have 1 ticket left for that. That's awesome to see. I think DM Samuel's game is close to being sold out, if not completely sold out, as well. So we have a lot. I think Casey's BK Eternal Table 3, Trouble in Gloucester, has no signups yet. So if you want to get a group together and go in this tourney, there's your chance. No, you can get a group together. You can, of your own choosing, of whatever players you want. There's plenty of tickets for that as well. All right, but as you notice, a lot of things are getting filled, which is really, really awesome. Yeah, Phantom has a couple games in here. And good to see. There you go, Amy. So Amy already picked. Good to see, Amy. Good to see you did that. I'm excited for this. Note also, here you go. I'm going to wear this tomorrow night during the stream. I don't wear a collared shirt, but tomorrow night I'm making an exception. These all are starting to go out. I know a couple people got them already, but there you go. Custom artwork from Carson Druitt. On there, it's our own artwork for GrailCon. I'm very excited. Return to the Mode House. They're available only if you register for the con. All right, what's going on other than the con? Tomorrow night, I'm hoping we finish this. We may not. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. It depends on how idiotic my players are. There, I can bust them. So that's tomorrow night. Infiltration in Free City. The Iusians have taken over Abel Carter Coaching Company. John, the legendary John from Pete and John's Teamster Service, was assassinated last week. So Vengeful Justice is out for revenge and out to, and there's fighting in the middle of the Petit Bazaar in the middle of the night. So that'll continue the fighting there. Troy wants me to TPK him. I will always make an effort, but this is a hardcore fighting group. So that's tomorrow night. Then we have a very, very special games Saturday. Oh my gosh, Troy. You keep on feeding me, man. Feeding the beast there. So Saturday night. here's our game. Another game with Mike Disney, The Continuing Adventures of Scorn. Sidetracked is the name of it. I wonder what that means. Stella Luna's playing. Tea Time with Taryn, Casey, Mike Disney, and a new player, the Monty Hall. Her name's Cassandra. She plays in the Unbound game of Stella Luna on Friday nights, and I'm going to welcome her to the community playing for the first time in Old School. And she will have a really cool return of Isak, yes. Return of Isak from Casey. She will be playing. We'll have 3 Rangers in this group. She'll be playing a Sylvanov Cleric Ranger. So we'll have a Cleric Mage. I'm sorry, a Ranger Mage, Ranger Thief, Ranger Cleric. Very cool in that group. So that'll be interesting. Yes, all Sylvanov females, right? And another one to the clan added. So
Yep.
that'll be on.
So cool.
Yeah, and then on Sunday night, Gabbin. I'm finally going to get to this because this will be my last Gabbin for maybe 2 weeks because I'll be on vacation the week after. Finally get to this. I didn't feel like doing another topic. I already have this one's been prepped and delayed twice, so we're going to get this Principality of Ulick and Pomarge campaign update on Sunday. Tim will be involved in this one. Also, this may be the premiere of the new ad we'll have running for Virtual GrailCon and the grand melee ad from a special announcer. So just note that'll be
Awesome.
probably. Saturday night may be good too to do it. We'll see. So that's what's going on in the world here. Let's do the giveaway. So much cool stuff. Thank you, community, for all the support and cranking it out. Here, and once again, I did talk to Chuck
Thanks for the
Cumbo.
bits.
Yes, Chuck Cumbo is him and his wife have COVID and they're hanging in there. That's all I'll say at this point. So please have Chuck in your thoughts. Because him and his wife are pretty ill still. All right, so let's do this giveaway for a $25 gift certificate to CSL Entertainment. We have giveaway multiple STL file giveaways tomorrow night and Titan Dice giveaways on Saturday night. So we got a lot of great stuff going. Yes, exactly, Amy. Good, Michael. It's going to be a good discussion because it'll be really a lot of another campaign fluff from me. What am I doing here? I got to close this out. Last call. Last call for signups. And once again, this is $25 right in, and you can get some great. Did you get that regular I comp for Tim? Tim's not playing tomorrow night there, Grape. So who are you going to give it to? You want me to give it to another PC? Tim is not around. Tim is it's still in Virginia and won't be playing tomorrow night. So I'll just put PC regular. Yeah. To me, man, I have 11 specials right now. 9 tonight from Troy. So yeah, PCs. Oh, Megan, it's gonna be bloody. All right, here we go. Closing out the giveaway. Oh, Tim's going to win now. The winner of the $25 gift certificate and I'll give it to you tonight, to CSL Entertainment. And remember, you got to do it as a coupon, I think, in there. So, Taryn! Tea Time with Taryn.
Nice.
Awesome. But, oh, no, I don't see Taryn on.
No.
Oh, Taryn's not on. Taryn's not on. She bailed. Mike. Yes. So, she dipped. It's in Lyric. So I will get her something. So I'm gonna pick a second winner, and I'll hook her up with something. Second winner. There you go, Scott Wiley Hobbit. You on?
Wiley.
Yep.
I think Wiley's
Cool.
on. Wiley, you win. All right, congrats, Wiley. I'll hook up Taryn with something. Okay, just note that I'm not a complete jerk because Taryn is playing in the game on Sunday. So I'm on Saturday night. All right, we're gonna raid into Stella tonight. Stella's playing on Saturday. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a typical J bloodbath. Maybe not. I'm just kidding. You're gonna meet a character, hopefully, a character that I'm bringing out of retirement, kind of. Some of you will get the joke, like my players, and some of you won't. So, but no, it's you'll see.
So coming out of retirement means it could be a character from 40 years ago.
This character had something happen to them roughly 25 years ago.
All right.
And I will tell you probably on Sunday night show if no one gets it on Saturday night. All right, but it's kind of comical. So I'll tell that story on Sunday night, definitely. I want to save it for because Saturday it'll be fun. All right, let's read into stuff. Thanks for a great show, everyone. Look at that. We're only we made time too.
Yep.
Packed it all in tonight.
Yep.
What a wonderful, wonderful time. We'll see you all tomorrow night, 7:30, and then Saturday night,
Thanks, everybody.
6 p.m. Eastern Saturday night, as we want to crash in a one-shotter in Sidetracked. And note, I'll be having a kids game that morning too. That won't be streamed though. We're gonna, myself, Tim, and Bill, and all our sons are gonna play in a real fun game on Saturday morning with the Gnarlymen in Greyhawk City. So it'll be a really fun weekend. See you all soon. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Mike, for a great show.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank
See you
Jay.
all.
Yeah.
See you all tomorrow night. Thanks. All right, let's raid into Stella. Go to creator dashboard, set this up. Raid.
See you later.
See if we can get over 60, 65, 70. Sound like an auctioneer. Look at that, 70.
Yeah,
Look at that, I was
70.
dead on. 5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow night. Thank you. That's uncanny, isn't it?
That's a
Hate when that pops up. Turn the sound up here so I can hear what she's saying, and then we'll go.